7.1 Plan Cost Management. Plan cost management is the process of defining how the project costs will be estimated, budgeted, managed, monitored and controlled. The key benefit of this process is that it provides guidance and direction on how the project costs will be managed throughout the project. This process is performed once or at predetermined points in the project. The cost management planning effort occurs early in the project planning and sets the framework for each of the cost management processes so that performance of the processes will be efficient and coordinated. The cost management processes and their associated tools and techniques are documented in the cost management plan. The cost management plan is a component of the project management plan. And you can read more about that on the PMBOK guide, page 235. This is where the project starts to get real, and it can get real scary for the project manager. Working out how to decompose products into work packages, then decompose work packages into activities, then put them in sequence and parallel and playing with schedules. It's like a game of Tetris, especially if you're managing a number of projects. But now you've reached the stage where you actually have to start planning how you will spend the organization's cash to make it all happen in the most economical way. As usual, we begin with a plan to plan. That is, this process won't produce a plan for spending money. It will produce a plan to help you plan how to spend the money and control or influence all the factors that require money to be spent. Plan cost management inputs number 1, the project charter. Both of these are important to remember in the exam. The project charter provides the pre-approved financial resources from which the detailed project costs are developed. The project charter also defines the project approval required that will influence the management of the project costs. Input number 2, project management plan. Project management plan components would include the schedule management plan. This provides details of processes and controls that will impact cost, estimation and management. Risk management plan tells you the approach for identifying, analysing and monitoring risks, as well as details of processes and controls that will impact cost estimation and management. For the exam, please remember that the plan cost management plan process uses these 2 plans as inputs. Input number 3, enterprise environmental factors. The ones we're interested in here would include the organisational culture and structure, because these can influence cost management. This can cover additional signatories, spending limits, authorization limits and so on. Market conditions describe what products, services and results are available in the regional and global markets. This is especially important when you're performing make or buy decisions. Currencies exchange rates for projects are sourced from more than one country. As you mentioned in the module overview, conversion rates can have a massive impact over a relatively short period, which is why this area is often entrusted to financial experts in the organisation. People often mistakenly believe they are project managers just because they use a software application to produce a schedule. And many project managers mistakenly believe that they are financial experts just because the project charter authorises them to spend up big on the organisation's money. Public commercial information such as resource cost rate information is often available from commercial databases that track skills and human resource costs and provide standard costs for materials and equipment. This is particularly true of mature organisations such as construction, mining, oil and gas, military and others. Published seller price lists are another source of information, and some organisations, especially in government, obtain lists of approved vendors. Project management information systems can provide alternative possibilities for managing cost. Productivity differences in different parts of the world can have a large influence on the cost of projects, and so you need to check if your organisation maintains information packs on the different regions. Input number 4, organisational process assets. These would be financial control procedures, for example, time reporting, required expenditure and disbursement reviews, accounting codes and standard contract provisions. Historical information and lessons learned repository, financial databases and existing formal and informal cost estimating and budgetary related policies, procedures and guidelines. Plan cost management tools and techniques. Number one, haven't seen this guy for a while, but the expert judge has come back. Expert judgment should be considered from individuals or groups with specialised knowledge or training in the following topics: previous similar projects, information in the industry discipline and application area, cost estimating and budgeting, and earned value management. Tools and techniques number two, data analysis. A data analysis technique that can be used for this process includes alternatives analysis, which can be used to review strategic funding options such as self-funding, funding with equity, funding with debt. But what do these actually mean? Self-funding, the project funding will come directly from the performing organisation's own reserves. Funding with equity, project funding will come from obtaining a loan using corporate assets or shares as security for the loan. And funding with debt, project funding will be raised by obtaining a loan without asset backing, which is more expensive usually. It can also include considerations of ways to acquire project resources, such as making, purchasing, renting or leasing. Tools and techniques number three, meetings. Nothing much to say here except relevant members of the project team may hold planning meetings with relative stakeholders to discuss the cost management plans. Project cost management outputs, well, in fact output because it's only one output, the cost management plan, which will be the component of the project management plan and describes how the project costs will be planned, structured and controlled, and will document the cost management processes, tools and techniques. For example, the cost management plan can establish the following: the units of measure, each unit used in measurements such as staff hours, staff days or weeks or time measures, meters, litres, tons, kilometres, cubic yards for quantity measurement, or lump sum and currency form is defined in each of these resources. Level of precision. Precision and accuracy are not interchangeable, and they're often used incorrectly in everyday practice, and they're often used incorrectly in the examination. To put it briefly, the precision is the number of decimal places in an answer that it's rounded to. In the examination, all answers are rounded to 2 decimal places, so 2 decimal places is the level of precision of the PMP exams. The level of accuracy is the acceptable range, for example, plus or minus 10%. It's used in determining realistic cost estimates. And please remember for the exam the difference between the two. Precision means number of decimal places. Accuracy means how close the number is to the expected value. It normally has a range involved. Organisational procedures links. This may be where to find details on the procedures. The work breakdown structure provides a framework for the work management plan, allowing for consistency with the estimates, budgets and control of costs. The work breakdown structure used for the project cost accounting are the control accounts, which are the main deliverables. Each control account is assigned a unique code or account number that links directly to the performing organisation's accounting system. Hopefully you will recall that the numbering system on the work breakdown structure is called the code of accounts, and the numbering system in the organisation's accounting system is called the chart of accounts. Control thresholds. These are for monitoring cost performance, and it may be specified to indicate an agreed upon amount of variation to be allowed before some action needs to be taken, and they're typically expressed as percentage deviations from a baseline plan. Rules of performance measurement. Earned value management sets rules for performance measurement. For example, the cost management plan may define the points of the work breakdown structure at which measurement of control accounts may be performed. Establish the earned value management techniques, example, weight milestone, fixed formula, percentage complete, etc. to be employed. We'll actually be covering these in a later lesson, 7.4 control costs. Specify tracking methodologies and the earned value management computational equations for calculating projected estimate to completion, that's the EAC forecast, which we'll talk about later as well, to provide a validity check on the bottom-up EAC. Sorry, this sounds like Greek at this stage, but it will be explained later. Reporting formats. The format and frequency for the various cost reports are defined. Additional details about cost management activities include description of strategic funding choices, procedure to account for fluctuations in currency exchange rates, and procedure for project cost recording. And that brings us to the end of Plan Cost Management. Next lesson is 7.2, Estimate Costs.